Hello everyone, how are you guys? Welcome to Digital Cider stream. So a different twist for what we normally did so far. So why Digital Cider stream? Well, we did many beer streams. We did basically 44 different digital beer streams. The project has been basically going on for 11 weeks. So on the 12th week, I was thinking, you know what? I think I'm gonna try to, raise awareness and, trying to speak about another interesting topic, which is ciders. And, for many of the craft beer people, cider is still a bit like kind of, an unusual, interesting, unexplored sometimes word. And as much as with craft beer, probably at the early stage, you must have someone who can grab your head and, going together with a beautiful journey. I say beautiful because drinking good cider is one of the most rewarding experience you can have contemporary if you are a drinker. And the reason is because there are some incredible producers. The reason is because there are, very passionate people, a very strong community, interesting websites, interesting magazines, interesting publications. And to whoever of you are thinking that maybe, the cider could be, one of these things where, people are probably stacked a few years ago, well, they're really looking forward to, embrace the contemporarity. And every single time we're doing a digital beer stream, we have every day a different type of format. And as much as we did with the digital beer stream, with the cider stream will be pretty much the similar thing. So today's coach stream, and when we have a coach stream is a digital education program. So we grab someone that is an expert on a specific side of this industry, and we're trying to deliver some aspect insights, opinions, point of views, or whatever we can do to try and, rise up the level. So today I'm very, very happy that I'm gonna be on the stream with George Poole. And George, or Cider George, if you are familiar with him, is a 23 years old cider drinker in Somerset, and he's got a massive passion for design and cider. And I think he could be very happy that he managed so far to try to have both of these elements together. And I love the fact that he's trying to work along with the rest of the cider community to try to, change public's perception on the cider and kind of education, try to, bring a modern take to the cider industry. So I'm gonna drink a fantastic bottle of the Greg Spit brandy 100 cup in Winners London. So I'm pretty aware that this is very high delicious stuff, and I also understand that this is a big bottle. I'm not gonna drink it all by myself. Gonna share with my partner, with my wife, on my way, and I'm expecting an interesting, very complex, super fruity, natural sparkling, medium dry cider. And I managed to find these beautiful products from Hobburns and Black in South London. If you are not familiar with them, you should really check the website. And I know that George is here, so if you just can give me 1 second, I'm gonna try to get him to the live. Let me put the volume up, and we're gonna have a nice chat with this guy, which I'm really looking forward. And in the meantime, guys, if you're not in the park, or hello, mate.
Hello.
How you doing?
You okay?
Yeah, man, very good, very good. Nice to see you.
And you?
Oh, is that your room? I love it, man.
Yeah, it's basically a bar.
Oh wow, that's interesting. And is it mostly cider, or you also have like beer and
Everything.
like
Everything.
how have you been? Everything fine?
Yeah, sort of last year at uni at the moment, last little bit, so I'm just sort of busy working ahead with that. And yeah, what about yourself?
I'm much better today because more as industry and individuals what's happening in our life from early next month, which means we can work together, we can go out, meeting people, blah, blah, blah. So that's good. And yeah, like, as I told you, this is the 45th live stream so far.
You're getting good at it then.
Yeah, I can't stop anymore. I introduced yourself just now, and I mentioned that you're one of the luckiest people in the world that can manage to work with his passions. It's great. Well done. And I also mentioned that I'm gonna drink this beautiful bottle, and I don't know if you are gonna drink a cider with me as well.
Yeah, I've got one here. It's Eve's Cidery from America. But it's a special occasion, so I got it open.
How did you get your hands on it?
There's a company called Scrattings that get in sort of all sorts. So yeah, I just got on a big order last month. I shouldn't have. I spent a student loan, but it's fine.
Oh well, you know. I'm gonna open it so we can have our virtual cheers in a second.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned that you are based in Somerset, right?
I'm from Somerset, yeah. But I'm currently in Plymouth, so like way down in the southwest.
Right.
Down here for uni. Yeah, doing graphic design. But yeah, it's a nice day here today, so it's gonna be nice.
Even if she doesn't like to show herself because she's working and stuff, she's gonna drink it with me, my wife, who's in not far. And but yeah, you know, can we do a cheers? No, she doesn't. So cheers, man.
Cheers.
Oh man, I'm telling you,
I need to try that one.
I love the fact that, you know, it's a Perry, and I didn't even know what Perry was. You know, probably like 6-7 years ago, probably 5 years ago, and I couldn't believe that you can actually extract such an incredible product out fruits or combination of different fruits. It's incredible.
It's nuts.
Wow.
And like Perry as well. Like you can only make it using like certain Perry pears, and like they might not even fruit. Like they'll fruit like one every 4 years, and then once they do fruit, they'll go bad in like the matter of hours. So like you have to literally be there in the orchards picking these pears as soon as they're ripe, whether it's like 3 in. So it's just that just adds another level to it, really.
Oh, wow. I didn't know any of that. Well, let's say this, right? For someone that is massively into beer and is slightly getting into cider, I'm aware that basically you are starting with your own, you know, knowledge and passion because friends or because someone within your family is really into it. How did you start?
Sort of when I was younger, my granddad lived near a cider maker called Perry's in some tiny little village, and he would tell me about it, and he'd take his mum there, and they'd like drink from these massive barrels and go all the way down, sipping it straight from the barrel, and then she'd work all the way back up, and then go all the way back down, and then she'd like need a nap in the afternoon. But so yeah, he told me about that, and then when I was like 18, I went there and I seen those big barrels, and it's like a really old traditional farm, and I was like, I like that. I like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you have like memories attached to it, like some odors as well, or even the early taste when you just sipping it or something like that?
One memory I got is like I drove there, and it's like it's in the middle of nowhere, so there's like no background noise. I sat there and I got out of cider. It's a lush day. I was just sat there. I could see all the people like in the barn. It's a shed working, and I was just sat there enjoying it, watching everything go by, and I was like, oh yeah, and that's sort of like that. Literally from then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep with this.
Wow. And you know, like unlike you lucky guys who are growing up and born in for me, the first approach that I have, for example, when I was back, it was much like mass produced produce, like stuff, then probably someone will give you in a pint glass with lots of this is the best drink you can have when it's very warm. And then all my way to this. It's funky, it's complex, is it's like, whoa, it's out of my mind. And even the color is like, it looks like best one you can have in the glass. I don't miss in this glass, and this is insane. But what is people perception in cider and perry, in your opinion? Like,
a bit rubbish. Yeah, like I said, the mass produced stuff, like in Strongbow, I think is the most best selling cider in the UK. And if people, like, it's made of concentrate, and I think they can make it in about a month, whereas like some nice ciders like what we're drinking take years, basically. Yep. And it's just crazy how like that is the perception of cider. So we've basically got to grab this and just try this. Yeah, just get them to try it. But like even perry, like what you're drinking, Lambrini, that is like, I think it's like £1.50 a bottle or something, and it's made of it's somehow it's got the name of perry. I don't know how it goes about it, but yeah, it's, people think that's perry, £1.50 a bottle, and what you're drinking is, they don't even know what it is. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so let's say definitely all of these probably like companies had incredible PR people and definitely like very powerful contact with pubs and bars and companies. I'm sure that's the reason, because
yeah,
this is a complete thing,
Yeah, it's just the scale they can make it on. If they can get it out there, people will buy it. Whereas like this stuff, it's very small batch. It's hard to, yeah. Some of the stuff just sells out so quick. It's sort of, which is good, I guess.
Yeah.
That exclusivity of it, but yeah, if they can make it in that much bulk, people are going to buy it. So
cheaper, easier to find, consistent, because there is nothing to not be consistent.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you can't just follow a recipe, basically.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, but, and then you have basically, like, I would say, similar to Belgian beer culture, I see cider into the British culture. You have the people that drink wherever you give to them. I mean, I don't want to put bad words on boomers, but they're two different things. So,
yeah.
And you have these like mainstream drinkers. Then you get the traditional people, and I would love to speak with you in a second about what traditional cider people and cider culture means. And then you have the new wave. Do you agree with that? Do you see like these three pretty much divisions, or not as many?
Yeah, for sure. Because you have got like what I described earlier, really traditional in a barn. It's made of 100% apples. Like, it is what it is. Then you got like the Bulmers, the Strongbow, which is just concentrate, it's squash. And then you got like this new wave of stuff coming in. You got like, it's almost following like it is following like the craft beer thing. Like, do something different, mix it up, get people's attention. What can we do different? Because obviously it does, whatever was happening wasn't really working. So I think you do need to just throw something in there and change something. So yeah.
I remember like we have a friend in common, which is Martin.
Yeah.
There is a cider shit. Yeah. For me, he has been like the actual, prophet. We were finishing the shift in the shop, and I was watching everywhere around myself, and I was just like, Martin, I know pretty much, or at least I have an idea about pretty much all you get in this shop. This section, right in the middle between the wines and the beers, and I was just like, what are all of the and I remember him being like, just try it as much as he was say to me, he was say to customers, and he also like mentioned, to be in touch with you. I love this fact, and the industry, the cider industry, is so close. It's so, cooperative way.
Mm. Yeah, it is nice because I started this Instagram like a year ago, just over a year ago, and within like a couple months, I had some like contacts, you could say. And then from then on, it's sort of like then I went to Bristol and I met Martin, and now I've like worked with him on like he brought out a cider a couple of days ago. And I worked with him, made like a little animation for him for his launch and it. But yeah, so people are just willing to be friendly and inclusive because that's the thing. I don't think cider can really afford to be like a club because like beer you can have it like if it's like a specialist beer like yeah you're not allowed in, but like cider we need everyone we can get.
I like
it's kind of like everyone's welcome, drink what you want. There is a cider like there's so many different ciders, like you'll find something you like.
I like that, and I love the fact as well. Then, and we were saying before, cultures. So I realized back in the days, then camera have a big feelings for real cider. Well, for real cider, cider in the box, cider, beer festivals, beer as cider festival, and they also were like super protective in a way, and almost like trying to make sure this product was selling the best, well kept in the best way and everything. There is something that I realize maybe that culture have now a bit of limit, which is the way it has been presented, the product. Like, you're a graphic designer, right? So
yeah.
What do you think about it?
What is in terms of?
Is there like a very old school, sometimes graphic identity to some?
Yeah, with cider, there's it. What's been done time and time and time and time again is just put an apple on it or put an apple tree on it, and that has just been done so many times. Because people just see it. That cider, bosh. That just leave that alone. Like I don't like cider. I tried it. I don't want to touch it. But if you, yeah, that's our job to then again give them something different because they might not know that another cider is different. So if you give it another label, they can be like, huh, what's that? Is that cider? Like then if you change their mindset with the label, then they'll be more open-minded when they go into the bottle, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And let's say there is, I always try to find comparison with the craft beer industry. So Erno and Oliver's cider.
Oh yeah.
Or clean, like
very similar. Yeah, it's just, yeah, because Oliver's, I'm guessing it's the same as I've never tried Colonel beer, but like Oliver's, it is what cider is meant to be. It is, and it doesn't try to be anything more. It just gives you this label, and it's like, yeah, this is fine cider. There you go. And I'm guessing that's the same as Colonel beer. Like they're not trying to be anything fancy, but again, they've not got an apple on it or an apple tree. It's just this is good.
Then there is Oaks, which is a bit more like in the face, contemporary, made in London, rhubarb, pineapple, interesting funky elements. So definitely that is more probably targeting different type of people already, right?
Yeah. So it's probably going for like that younger audience, trying to grab people away from craft beer. Whereas like say Oliver's is probably trying to drag people away from natural wine, like the wine market, which is the wine and cider are obviously very similar, and then like, the way people drink beer and cider is very similar. So it's sort of just trying to lure these people away. But that's just by doing whatever works.
And have you been in some type of events or happenings where, for example, cider has been treated similarly like fine wine, or doesn't exist yet?
Yeah, there was last year in Bristol, they had a thing called the Cider Salon, and it was like all the best cider makers in the world, basically.
Wow.
So I've got together. There's people from like Estonia, the US, all over Europe, and it's crazy. I didn't realize these countries even made cider, let alone like I didn't know what was going on. So I was just going around trying like everything. and it was great. Like they served it in like tiny little glasses, and they told you about it and the story behind it and how much time, effort this went into it. And it's great. It's much different from going to a pub, having a pint. It was really trying to like learn from it, and which is great.
Good point. Like, do you see the natural habits of the cider we are talking about right now being actually a pub, more like a restaurant, or just enjoy it at home, or maybe like in a more rural situation? How do you see it, for example?
I think you could sort of drink cider anywhere. That's just coming from me. But yeah, like you can get a cider that's perfect for a pub. It'll be like a lower percentage, so you can have a few. It'll be in a pint glass, or you can get like quite a strong one, really quite powerful flavour that you have in a wine glass, and you have it with food and you treat it as such. And then you can get ones, again, have it in a big bag in a box and take it to a festival. Like, yeah, it's sort of, there is a cider for every situation, I believe.
I get it 100%. And just a recap to whoever just connect. I'm here with Cider George Poole. If you're looking for him on Instagram, that's his name. And we are discussing about cider words, design and cider, and you know, this week is all going to be dedicated to all things cider. So it's great to be here with George and try to, you know, understand what we call potentially a modern approach to something that is very much traditional, and sometimes I like to think protected from some part of the consumers and producers. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, there are some people that are out there that are like this is what it is, it can't change. And I think in the grand scheme of things, if it is to be moved forward, there's got to be some level of experimentation, sort of development on it. Really, it's sort of, you don't want to just sit where you are, I think, because there is something going on with cider. Hence why you're doing this week. You've obviously noticed it. So it's like, you've obviously got to grab that and just run. Whatever's working, run with it. And if it's that traditional stuff, do that. If it's like nice craft looking stuff, push that. Like, yeah, you just got to really go for whatever works.
I love that. And how are your friends? Because we have a couple of years, many years of difference. Not that free, man. So basically it's 10 years, and it doesn't matter anymore in these days. You guys know everything about, you know, or as much as I do. So it's a perception and things like that. But I would love to know, for example, like a 23 years old friend of you, or be younger, be older, do you think have the similar mentality that you have? So because he was born in a specific area, or there's guys more like potentially beer drinker? How do you see that?
My mates back home in Somerset, they all love cider as well, which is great. But yeah, like obviously, I think I've sort of like developed this passion. It's gone a bit of a step above, but they're still happy to try whatever I have. And like I've got like mates at uni that are quite into craft beer, and obviously like experimenting, see what they like, see what they don't like. And he's happy to try ciders. He's happy to try it, and I'm happy to try craft beers. It's sort of getting to a point now where people are just, what's the point in like sticking to what you know? Just experiment, try everything. And cider's like such a big world out there. Just go for it.
I agree. So let's say a product like this, with a label like this, in a very nice long bottle. I mean, this is a big bottle, but you know, something like that. Do you see as a game changer, like potentially change perception? And despite the fact that there are the fruits in here and everything, but do you see like a progression in what you were working on?
Yeah, because that label is made by like lino press. So they've literally like carved out those shapes and stamped it and pressed it, and they've made it by hand, which is great. And again, it goes back to my point earlier. If you can show a consumer like time and effort has gone into the outside of the packaging, the bottle, the presentation of it, obviously there's loads of effort that's gone into the cider, or the perry in your case, and it's going to really make them question, like, oh, it's not just a can with a bow and arrow on it. I can see that so much effort and time's going into that. It's going to be this whole package, this presentation. The experience of opening that cork is going to be different from just cracking a can or whatever.
Yeah.
You've really got to, like, if you present it so well, yeah.
And what can you present to a consumer that is above pear and apples in a label? Like stories of the producers or area?
Yeah, because there's a cider maker there called Little Pomona in Herefordshire, and they've had this cider called Art of Darkness, and they age it for ages. It's always in dark.
Wow.
And they've recently brought out 3 versions of it. So they it's all the same apples, but one of them's maybe got more of one apple variety, one of them's got less of it, and they got 3, and they've put it together, 1, 2, and 3. And I think I've never seen that. So you're meant to drink it in order. They've told you, drink it in this order, and it's almost like a story going through the drink. And they're giving which I've never seen that, which is interesting. Yeah, so, storytelling is, I think, very important.
Wow, and that's exactly probably like what I'm talking about. And like craft beer, people are getting close to this type of products because they love the labels, they love the look, they like to think it's a premium a product, and there is a premium element on it. So 100%. So let's say, I don't know, like more graphic as well, like more drawings, more comic style, or any way cider it has to be graphically, in your opinion?
I think because cider is so diverse, there can be a range of things. Like the label you got is handmade, but then in London there's a cider maker called Luke Cider, and his cans are they look like craft beer cans. Yep. They've got such bright colours on it, and there's 3. There's batch 1, batch 2, and batch 3. I think's the name of them. Do you know that? Do you know them or?
I'm actually very local to Luke.
Oh, nice.
I'm in Park, so I can see him when he's got the markets on the. Nice. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I wrote my dissertation. One part of it was on him.
Wow.
And it's just crazy how each of the batches were a different storyline on the can, and I think that's great because you buy the first one, you're like, oh, what's happening on this one? Then you'll see as a second can, like, oh, okay, I want to try the cider, but what's the next part of the story? That's going to keep people coming back time and time again.
Wow. And I remember recently I was at the Summit pubs in North London, like in Stoke Newington. There are some very good pubs from this company called Barworks, and whenever you're gonna come down to London, we definitely have to go in these places. And I remember watching for my copy of beer magazines that normally these places have, and I'm there and I'm like, full juice. Like, is he a magazine? Is he full about information about cider and cider world and cider from everywhere? I was just like, wow. And it's catchy when you get it on your hand. Like, it's funk. It's cool. I mean, give me 1 second. I got it. I mean, this is not the camera festivals.
Oh yeah, it's a long way. It's a long way off traditional, isn't it?
Yes, and even like some of the advertising and stuff. There is a completely different approach to the element itself, which is, I mean, I didn't know about these guys in North London as well, like the Real R Company. I mean,
that's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, whoa! And I love the fact that the publishers and the people that are making these magazine are producers like Susanna Forbes, probably the cider you mentioned before.
Yeah.
And Gabe Cook, who gave me a fantastic lesson when I was and Pete Brown, which is the chairman of the Guild of British Beer Writers, and I'm like, so how do you think like all of these started? Because definitely has to be like can't be like from a day to another. There has to be like, you know, a process.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell really, because it's just sort of, I've only sort of just got on it in the last year, so I'm just sort of like, I'm just having a good time, whatever's happening. But yeah, I think it's just the need. People are sort of finding they want a more premium product. They want to know what they're drinking. They want to know about it. They want to know where it comes from, what goes into it, and they're willing to pay a little bit extra, willing to pay for that experience just to get involved with it. And I think there's something happening, obviously, in the side of the world. Hence, you've seen this magazine; it's everywhere, and it's sort of just a little bit more. And I reckon it's gonna get quite big. So, well, even bigger, should I say? But yeah.
I love something that you wrote in about what you're doing, and you said, and you consider to use design as a form of education to new consumers.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. I love it. It's great.
Well, because like again, people don't really know about cider. It's quite relatively small compared to beer. So if you do have someone crossing over, they try it. Oh, that's nice, and they'll move on. But if you teach them like what went into it, they might appreciate it more. Like Pilton Cider down in Somerset, they use a method called keeving, and it's like similar to how the French make cider. And it's when I first heard it, I didn't have a clue what was going on, but I looked into it and I found out, and it's crazy, and it sort of made me appreciate that product so much more. And I think like in Somerset as well, there's a company called Pulped, and on the back of their bottle they have like a little diagram, and they don't just describe a cider as dry, medium, or sweet, because that's quite vague. They've got categories like floralness or tannins or bitterness, and then it helps the consumer go, oh, that's what I'm tasting. Oh, okay, I like that. Okay, I'm going to find more like that. And then it sort of helps them get into the cider world, and then it helps them explore, find what they like, find what they don't like. Yeah, so education is like key.
and when the graphic design works very well with the producer, you are creating what exactly the producer have in mind, put it on the table, bang in the people's face.
Yeah, they have no choice but to learn.
I love it. This is great. I mean, you already mentioned lots of producers. You already mentioned, you know, some of your labels and very remarkable, you know, works out there. But if you will mention a favorite cider producer, someone that really make you, you know, wow.
It's gonna have to be Pilton, from Somerset, obviously, home county. I love it. I would be a bit biased in that, but yeah, it's just like I've met Martin who runs it. He's a nice guy. He's like helped me out. He's told me everything about his ciders. And again, it's just helped me. Like I've wanted to then dive in and learn more, so I have. And it's one of these ciders that I've tried one of his, and I've gone, okay, I've learned that. So now I'm going to move on and see what other stuff. It's a real good, like, yeah. But
Wow.
yeah, and they're just great ciders.
I agree. I think we're gonna try one of them, especially I think a special product I can't mention yet because it's coming in the other day. But yeah, it's good stuff, definitely. And what about labels then? Maybe it's the same. I don't know. Same producer. I don't know.
Yeah, recently he started like making his own labels, which is kind of cool. He screen prints them, and it's crazy. Again, it's bringing back like loads of effort goes into the label. It's gonna make you think twice about what's in the bottle. But my favorite cider packaging, I think it'd be Luke's. I think Luke's cider. There's outrageously crazy cans. It's like, whoa, what is that? It's just like that's too much, but I like it. It draws me in, like what's going on in there. Like you turn it, there's something at every single point of the can. It's nuts, and there's a story on the back. It's a full package for me.
I agree. It's very colorful, psychedelic, but then positive at the same time. Not pretentious. It's free. I love it. I love it as well. So the fact that many people told me so far that I'm taking too much advantage from the kindness of my guest, it makes me. I have to stay close to the 30 minutes as much as I can. It's a sunny day. We want to, you know, do whatever. But I got two questions which are very important because, you know, almost like create some of all we said right now. First question is, does cider need a modern take to the industry? And if yes, did we start it already? Are we going the right direction? What we have to do more?
I do think it needs a modern take, yeah. Because like I said before, if you just kept to that traditional scrumpy farmhouse stuff, I think it would just get a bit tiresome. And people, again, they look at it and they're like, oh, I've tried cider before, I'm not really interested. But if you give them something new, like outrageous, different, they're going to think twice. And they're going to be like, okay, I want to give cider a go now. And they try it, and they're like, okay, this is much better than what I had and what I've tried and what people have said. I'm going to start going in and diving in. And I think, yeah, that is, yeah, it's good to experiment, I think. Yeah.
So we definitely are on the right way. And the fact that there are bottle shops that normally take beer and have so much stuff, it's a good sign.
Yeah.
And given the all situation that we have in the world and we live so far, I'm not aware too much about any like important issues or troubles or problems within the British cider scene or industry. Do you know anything? Like, is there short mid future for British cider at bright, or is there something to worry that you are aware of?
I think with the whole like coronavirus thing, it's taken a hit on everyone. Like most cider makers and people get their money from the trade, and they've had to change. Like I know you've got Fine Cider Felix on, so yeah, he's had to change his whole brand model just to fit with the current situation. It's worked out fine, which is great. But again, people are having to change, and hopefully once everything sort of levels out, it'll be fine. But I reckon if we just keep going the way that we're going, I think that there's definitely like a positive, and keep experimenting, keep doing different things. There's going to be a positive future, which is good.
Yeah, 100%. And next projects, something going on for you in terms of, you know, wherever you are now, then it all of these guys and following us right now would like to hear. Please, this is your part.
Basically, soon I think I might be going freelance. So if you've looked at my page, I do quite a lot of like motion graphics and stuff and animations, and that's something different that cider hasn't had before. So yeah, if you need work done, give me a shout.
I'm sure there's chance for you. Very easy, man, because you already know many people within this incredible industry and stuff. And I'm maybe gonna ask you, like, if you know groups and Facebook and specific page publications from overseas that I'm not aware of, and you know, it's really, really, really interesting for me. And man, I mean, as I said, I don't want to take too much advantage from your kindness. and shall we stay in touch, and shall we keep updated on all things cider, all things beer, or if you're coming down to London, shall we do that, please?
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm coming to London as soon as this is all over anyway, so yeah, give me a tour.
I like that. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much for your availability. It has been great, and you have a brilliant, bright future in front of you. So
thank you. Take care, man. You're doing well.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Follow us.